Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important. I'm just a question asker. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheen Aljamain, but we have the family that's going to be here in just a little bit, and they're very important. We got a couple of topics we're going to talk about today that I think raise an eyebrow, gonna raise an eyebrow. And how they say an eyebrow? Yeah, that's how they say it. Raise an eyebrow in you. And I want to know what you think about. We got a scenario first that I'm gonna put out there. And I love this scenario, but I can't wait to see the responses that you all are going to give to this particular scenario. I can't wait to hear the responses. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Um, I guess you could tell I'm not gonna put it out there just yet. I want to wait till I get a few people in here, and I want to spring it on them. I want to spring it on them and just see how they what they say about this particular situation. That's what it is. It's a situation. Now it's quite sticky. It's quite sticky, and it depends on the individual. I think it depends on the individual, the maturity of the individual, and who that person is, how they deal with the scenario that we're going to pose to them this morning. What do they do in a situation like this? It's you gonna have to search your heart. You're gonna really have to search your heart to answer this particular question. And truth of the matter, you're gonna have to have a heart. You're going to have a heart to handle this scenario in the way that it should be handled. I say it that way, in the way that it should be handled. It's going to take a lot of evaluation, self evaluation on your own part to do the quote unquote right thing in this scenario. It's going to take a lot of soul searching to do the right thing. It's going to take a lot because there's so many different levels tied into this thing, and I don't want us to come on here today and just deal with the surface level of this. We have to deal with this thing from the how Sister Willa say from the rut. We're gonna have to deal with this from the rut, really are, because it's a lot tied into it. Um, the situation itself, um, it's sticky. It's very sticky, very sticky. But like I said again, I'm not gonna put it out there just yet. I'm waiting for somebody to come in, and when they come in, that's when I'm going to spring it on them. And I promise you, I want you to up, 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 up. We got somebody in here. Got somebody with us. Got somebody with us this morning. This is my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This is the wise man. This is Mr. Donald Toussaint. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Uh-oh. You
Doing
don't hear
well, man. You can learn a lot from a dummy, I like to say.
me. Well, look here. I want to learn something from you because I got this scenario and I've been talking about it. And I said I wasn't gonna put it out there until somebody come in. And guess what, Toussaint? You somebody. You
Huh?
are somebody.
What you say?
So
Son of
listen,
a gun.
you are somebody. Say it like that. I am somebody. That's how Jesse Jackson used to say it all the time. Jesse Jackson was something else. Jesse Jackson was something else. I just say it like leave it.
That,
I leave it right
who
there.
that, who that man?
Exactly, exactly. But Tucson, this is the scenario. You've been married for years. You've been married for years. Y'all have two children. You have two children. Okay. Your wife passes. Your wife passes away, naturally leaving you and the kids. Somehow you end up doing a DNA test, and that DNA test determines that neither one of those children, been married, happily, quote unquote, happily married for many years. Y'all was married before the kids came. Kids came during the course of the marriage. But the DNA test determines neither one of those children are yours. The wife is gone. What do you do?
Right? You ought to be ashamed. You, you ought to be ashamed. You gotta be ashamed of yourself.
Come on.
You know me. But right, oh that mercy. It's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes,
That's
sir.
pretty good.
Yes,
But
sir.
right here, you know what?
Uh-huh.
Keep it moving. How old the kids?
Hmm. Say it again
How
now.
old, how old the kids?
Um, let's say the kids are preteen, right there at teenage age, right before
Okay.
teenage. 10,
Keep it
11.
moving.
10,
Keep it
11. Yeah.
moving. Keep it
Mm-hmm.
moving. Me. Because sometimes we get in relationships and we see because we make problems. We give kids our problems.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah. I understand what
Grown
you're saying.
folks give kids our problems, and we
Mm-hmm.
cause them problems, and we traumatize their lives because of our issues. So
Would
I
you
say keep it moving because I've accepted in relationship kids that weren't mine, and I knew it.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Keep it moving. When you get into a relationship and somebody that already has kids, and if you want the relationship to work, you have to accept those kids as if they're yours and stop calling them stepchildren. Step where?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Feed them. That's what you do. They say if you feed them long enough, they'll look like you.
Yeah, yeah. That's what they say.
I don't know
But
if that's true,
mm,
but they
mm.
might act like you.
Oh, they'll definitely act like you. They'll definitely act like you. But I don't know they gonna look like you now. That's a
That's a
stretch right there.
that's a
Yeah,
different puppy.
yeah. But see, my thing is there's a lot of things, and I said it when I posted this morning. Um, there's a lot of layers on this thing because now you're thinking that person, they're thinking now. What about this? What about that? She cheated.
Infidelity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
infidelity.
She yeah, she cheated on me, man. And these kids that I've been raising all this time, they're not mine. And now I'm in a situation where she's gone. Now the kids have to be taken care of. I understand that. It's not truth of the matter, it's not the kids' fault.
No, it's not. Now I say that. Now definitely you're gonna think something different.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you gonna think, but you can't dig them up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and get apology or explanation or nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're gonna feel kind of stupid
Yeah, yeah.
because you missed it.
Mm-hmm.
You missed it.
And
But let me
what
tell you something about. Go
mhm,
ahead.
go no, 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 go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you missed it because you thought possibly that she was faithful
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Exactly.
But now I'm gonna start some trouble by what I'm finna say.
Mm-hmm.
Women can keep a secret among themselves. You never find it out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And laugh and smile and giggle at you every time you come around.
Love you, and excuse the phrase, to death,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and be making a fool out you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll come home and and I can't say what I can't say. I can't say what I was gonna say.
That's right. That's right. Watch it, Donald.
But let me say it like this: they'll clean up, and you think everything's brand new.
Peaches and cream, roses and tulips and all kind of stuff. Oh, it's really nice.
Hey,
Really
give Toya the scenario. I can't wait to hear what Toya gonna say.
Hey, we got Toya and we're gonna go to Rico. Rico's on the line as well. We're gonna hit both of them with this one right here. Now, Toya with a T. Now you've been
Start no mess, Raheem.
no, we gonna
Don't start no mess, Raheem.
no,
Don't
yeah.
be acting like y'all don't do stuff now. Come on with the scenario so I can go and see what we got going on here.
Now you have to and I'm gonna keep the scenario just the same way I had it because it makes more sense the way that I put it. But you somebody that's real close to you, one of your male friends that's real close, a brother or something like that, somebody that's very close to you that talks to you all the time, and y'all help each other through situations. Okay, they come to you,
Mm,
they say,
mm,
Toya, I got something. I can't talk to nobody but you about this. I can't talk to nobody else
Mm-hmm.
but you about this, and I want you to help me through it. I've been married for blank amount of years. Yeah.
15. Yep.
Yeah,
Got a friend with this. Yep. 15. Mm-hmm.
been married. Okay, let's keep it right there. We've been married. I've been married for 15 years. Um, my wife, she just passed a couple of months ago, and
Mm-hmm.
during the course of the marriage, we had two kids. We had two kids during
Mm-hmm.
the course of the marriage, and for whatever reason, I had a DNA test, and the DNA test determined that neither one of these kids are mine. Neither one of them are
Mm,
mine.
mm, mm.
Now we've been married all this time, and we the kids came during the course of the marriage. She's gone now. What am I to do? What? Because it's killing me to know that these kids are not mine. And I thought that I was in such a
Mm,
committed relationship, such a committed marriage. What do I do?
mm. What you mean? What you do? I'm lost. What you mean? What you do? Something changed?
Mm.
Something changed? Cause he's gone now?
No, but see,
Oh no,
I
something
never,
changed.
I never
Something
knew,
changed because you thought mama's babies and daddy's babies didn't apply to you.
I never knew they were not my children. We've always raised these kids like they were mine. We've always raised these. We
Yeah.
never had the conversation. Never even the thought never even came to my mind that these kids and we were married,
Yeah,
husband
Mr.
and wife.
Perfect. Mr. Perfect, I know, but I want to know, do you love the kids? Because if you did, it don't make a difference. You love your nieces and nephews?
Mm, I would love,
Daniel?
but see, I would love to think that, Toya, but this is just different for me. Somehow, this is just different because I thought I had that connection with these kids, biological connection with these kids, and to find out, it's almost like somebody hit me in the throat with a sledgehammer when I found out when the doctor told me that these kids were not mine. It's like
But
somebody took
wait
a
a minute.
sledgehammer and hit me
I'm
in
going to
my
call you
throat.
my friend name now. But you ran.
Hmm.
I got a friend going through the same thing.
Wow.
But you ran. Listen. You said you took care of the kids all these years and you thought they was yours. So now that you find out biologically they're not yours, what's the problem? I
That's the
mean, for me,
problem.
when I have best friends, my particular best friend, they had three. She had three kids, and she promised him that she was going to have a child with him.
Hmm.
15 years.
Hmm.
So he raised those kids, and 15 years later, he like, Toya, listen, you want to have my baby because my wife, she said she don't want to have no more kids.
Mm.
So now he distraught because he's like, I raised your kids. They're good. They're calling me daddy, but I know they're not mine, and that's cool. But you didn't never give me no baby. Now he's 40. I'm 46. He's 47.
Hmm.
So he's kind of got the same kind of thing in him. Like, I believed her. I thought she would. Now she don't want to have my kids. And the kids she got, like, I get it. Like, she called me daddy, but she not mine. I want
Yeah.
my own. I want my
Hmm.
kid to have my blood.
Hmm.
So this kind of sound like the same scenario, but like I was telling him, and they're getting a divorce now.
Wow.
So
Wow.
what are you gonna do about the kids? Well,
Mm.
well, that's not my daughter. So the daughter called him up on Father's Day and was like, "Daddy, come get me."
Hmm.
So I'm like, yo. So do she know that you don't love her like she your own child? But no, I always taught her like that. So tell me, what's the problem now? What is the problem now? I mean, what's wrong? Is you a daddy or is you not a daddy?
But
Because when
see,
it comes to being a father, it has nothing to do with DNA.
hmm, hmm,
People leave their kids all the time.
but see, but
Me and
what
him have
we're
had
saying,
conversations about how his real father didn't teach him things that my father did. So when it comes to being a dad, it's not about DNA. It's not about a lie. Your kids need you. Those are
okay,
still your
but
kids.
Toya, we can't negate the deception that is there. And he's dealing with in a situation like that. I think a person would be dealing with a certain level of deception because the wife that she's no longer here, but I think she deceived him all this time because she know what she did. She knows she was on the creep. She knows she was on the creep. She know what she did.
Yeah, that might be true, but I still think that I hate to have to do this to you, Raheem. I love you, but if you so happen to go to the doctor and
Hmm.
need to do a blood sample for your daughter and find out it's not yours, what you gonna that's gonna stop being your daughter?
Now I understand what you're
Because
saying.
you was deceived for
Yeah.
20 years?
I understand what you're saying, but
Oh, she
that
lied to me.
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
she was the
yeah.
only one. I mean,
But see,
no.
the thing about, and I understand what you're saying, and you're making perfect sense. You're absolutely making perfect sense, but that does not negate the personal or the human side of it that this man is going to feel.
Right. And those are your feelings, and you can feel like that. But what we gonna do about these kids?
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because women do it all the time. Women do it all the time. I heard somebody on here talking about how she took care of the husband's child.
Cassandra, she's on right now.
And
She's
me
at
personally, I
mhm.
would, huh?
Yeah, I say it was Cassandra. She's actually holding right now. She's on the line. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. See, and I would have a huge problem doing that too. But despite your feelings, you raised these children for 15 years. These kids are 15. They know no other father.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was okay up until the reality. And truth be told, I don't even believe in DNA tests. Hell, they could be like Maury Povich and lie, because all them shows they reproduce. But my thing to my friend is, I understand you hurt. I understand you destroyed. But how are you going to throw away 15 years of them being your children? Those are still your children. That's what's going to baffle me. That's what's going to baffle me. Because how this ain't got nothing to do with her. I get it, she dead. But your kids, those are your kids now. That's how I feel. I understand the hurt. I understand the pain. Just like as a woman, if your husband come to you or your husband die, and then here you pop up with this 15-year-old talking about, oh, my daddy dead, I need to come stay with you. I get that. But I thought the reason why we're adults is because we have to stand up and we have to understand that we're still in deal with children. At that point, if these are your kids that you raised for 15 years, you got to look past your deception because you don't have nobody else. That's
let me do
my
this.
personal opinion. It's not about her.
Okay, let me do this right here. Let me do this. And like I said, we got a Rico and Cassandra holding on, so I want to get their opinion on it as well. But let me ask you this question for you. What happens if one of those children become ill? Because you're not, certain things you're not gonna tell the children. You're not gonna tell the children. Your mama, your mama creep. Your mama, did this. You ain't gonna tell the I wouldn't tell the kids nothing like that.
I don't know why.
I wouldn't. I would not. And say, but my thing is, Lord, if them children were,
where mama? Oh, she ran up with the milkman, baby.
No,
Don't worry about it. We're gonna figure something out. We're gonna find your new mama.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the part where you tell them, your mother's dead. The kids know that. They went to the funeral and everything. They know that part. But the part I'm talking about is I'm not gonna tell them that the mother creeped on me or something like that and had another affair. I wouldn't tell. I wouldn't.
Oh.
That's the part I would not say to the kids. I wouldn't tell them that. I wouldn't let them look at their mother in that way, especially after she's gone now. I don't want them to look at her in I would not want them to look at her in a negative way in regards to that. But what if one of the kids become ill and they need a cell kidney transplant or something like that? Needed to be somebody along their bloodline that can actually do it, and you have to explain to the kids, well, we can go have the test, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. Or it comes out at that time that the DNA is different. Now the kid's gonna know.
Right.
How do you deal with that moving forward?
I mean, well, I'm sorry. I'm just a different person. I believe in telling the truth. And if you're going to keep up her lie, then what you mad for? I just believe in honesty. I believe in being all the way completely honest. And even if the child is too young, I think at 15 you know better, but if the child is too young, my father used to tell me, hey, we can't speak about that right now. When I used to ask where my mother was, Mommy, my daddy, mommy not here. Well, when you get older, we'll talk about it. And in the meantime, this is what we need to do. We need to find somebody who's a match. I believe that you can be honest. I believe that you also can inform them that now is at the right time for us to discuss this information because you're not old enough to understand it. But I do not agree with holding lies. I believe that's why the baby needs a transplant, because you're lying. So don't get mad with her for being a cheater if you're going to be a liar.
Okay. And that's her stance, and she's gonna stick on it. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Cassandra, coming to you next.
I can't complain. Just happy to see another beautiful new day, man.
Yes, sir. Good to have you hit with this, man. And I gotta hear you. Talk to me, brother. What do you do in this situation, in this scenario, man? How do you handle that?
Well, it's simple. I mean, it ain't even got to be long and drawn out. If somebody's heart is truly rooted in righteousness and love, then sacrifice has to be automatic. And so, you ask yourself certain questions. What about the children? These children are all you know. Now, if that woman was actually trying to keep the children from you, doing some strange stuff before she passed away, and you don't have the relationship that you should as a father, then you might say, well, okay, go to your mother's people. You let the mama's people might have a better relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got that bond of a parent and you built that relationship, then you don't just sit back and say, well, what about me? What about me? What about me? Now you got to think about those children, because who else they got? You all they know.
Mm-hmm.
They actually might have been closer to you than to the mama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden you just gonna abandon them. What about the children?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So
That's good.
it would be the same as if you just saw a regular child that wasn't yours that needed rescuing or needed feeding or something like that. You just gonna overlook it because it ain't yours.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put myself to the side and do what's right by the children. But if a person, especially being that this is a Christian broadcast, if a person has to have conflict and has to guess, has to, go back and forth between the right thing to do in that situation, and they can't just say, well, what about the kids or what's right for the kids?
Mm-hmm.
What would Jesus do?
Yeah, that's
I
good.
just leave it at that.
That's good.
You can put whatever scenario you want to out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can put whatever age range you want to out there. They could be 2 or they could be 22.
Mm-hmm.
What would Jesus do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now,
and if you have a but or whatever after that, then you're not even trying to think with your righteous heart.
mm-hmm.
You're still stuck on your emotional state.
Mm-hmm.
What about me? Yeah, I know Jesus would do this, but what about me? I thought they was mine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
she was lying on me the whole time. I thought she was telling the truth.
And even with that part, Rico, even with that part right there, and you don't want to pour that onto the kids, don't want to put that on the kids. I agree with you 110% in regards to that. But the human side of you, when you're by yourself, man, and you land on that pillow at night, how does one deal with that deception? How does one deal with that?
They deal with it the same way they deal with everything else in life. Take it head on. You know what I'm saying? You stick your chest out and do what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's when you pull up your bootstraps.
Mm-hmm. When you're by yourself and you're dealing with it in your own emotions.
It's just have to accept what it is. I mean, put the children first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Take yourself out of it. You're a big boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You would think, but like I say, that human side, man. Sometimes the human side plays tricks on people. That human side is what holds us back from doing that. What would Jesus do? Situation that you talked about. And I love how you put that, because that was good. That was very good. But that human side of people, man, sometimes that human side is rough, man. A lot of times people say the flesh side is very rough. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning? Cassandra, you there? Okay, we may have lost her this morning. Toussaint, talk to me, brother. Toussaint, you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to be sarcastic and say, digger.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
I ain't fooling with you. I ain't fooling with you, Toussaint. I ain't fooling with you, man. Hey, your volume is a little low, Toussaint.
I know. Let me yeah.
There you go.
Now, man. Let me you good? You good?
Yeah, that's good. Much better. Yeah, much better. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. See, kids, and I think we said that yesterday. I said again. Even scripture says, train up a child in the way they should go. Teaching, this is a learning lesson for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna learn today.
Mm-hmm.
What you say matters. So you love them. You by now, surely you've done everything you possibly thought that was right by them kids. And what you gonna do? Change?
Mm-hmm.
Look them kids in the eye, and you're gonna look at them different now. Let's be honest. You're gonna think about your pride.
Yeah.
And your ego.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you. That's the human side. Pride and ego, reputation, and you're gonna say, well, I'll be doggone. That come to mind like Mama used to say, that heifer.
Mm-hmm.
But then here's the kids, dad, and you put out a scenario that's really, really adding to it. So now you got to come clean regardless,
Mm-hmm.
because now they're sick and they need a blood transfusion. Oh,
Yeah.
you put some stuff. You must have been leaning back pretty far.
To God be the glory, brother.
Yeah, man. But and you know what? I think this is good because we live in a day now that children need attention.
Mm-hmm.
Any child
Mm-hmm.
from any adult that
Yeah.
got any sense needs some guidance. So what if it's not yours?
Mm.
He, she, it's not yours. They're still gonna need you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if they're 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because kids, when they get 20 and 30, they'll be back. They might
Mhm.
come back with grandchildren.
Good Lord.
Sure will.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know?
Mm-hmm.
Keep saying good morning.
See, they'll pop up, and they will pop up. And let me,
They'll come up. Sure is. They come
Mhm.
up. And you be going to the grocery store with children that ain't yours. They're called grandchildren.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
And they'll make you do some stuff that you said you'd never do.
Look at, they'll make you spend
Get
money that you
stuff
ain't got.
You said you'd never get.
They'll make you spend money you don't
That you
have.
ain't got.
Yes, sir. Yes,
whatever, Papa.
Mm.
All they got to do is call you Papa
Yep.
or whatever,
Mhm.
Mommy,
sir. Mm-hmm.
PT,
Exactly.
and here you go,
Mm-hmm.
smiling, grinning, and spending.
Mm-hmm.
But
So I would say, man, just keep it moving.
Exactly. I told you what to talk to me. Cassandra, come to you next.
I'm talking about your granddaddy. He just weak. Said, Papa, I won't, but your mama said no. But Papa, okay, forget what your mama said. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Come on now, Papa. But
Don't tell your mama
No,
about.
I'm
Don't
back
tell your
on.
mama about this for you. No, don't tell your mama about this for you.
Man, come on, man. That's the part I don't like about the grandparents. Now, y'all not supposed to do that. You don't train the first child up in the way it should go, but then you're gonna let the other one come run zigzag. Come on, man. That's not how you do that, man. Grandparents. I
Zigzag.
tell you the truth.
Hey.
But the question. Okay, so you know why I think this is tricky, because we stopped preaching this villageness, right?
Yeah.
So they get no baby that ain't yours.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you grow up and you find out this baby not yours, you feel a kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm on what Jesus would do. You ain't got to be my kid for me
Yeah.
to take care of you. I ain't got to know you for me to have some empathy and compassion and see that you need me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're hungry? Oh, I'm going to help feed you. Need a place to stay? As long as you don't wear out your welcome, I might be able to help you with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Need a job? And I'm talking about grown, rusty people too. Need a job? Oh, come on, let's figure out a solution. But you mean to tell me now all of a sudden you find out a kid and you found that it ain't yours, and now your life, now you just want to stop me, man, and now you just want to stop being a human.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you want to stop? Is it that you thought you was just so perfect? Oh, she wouldn't cheat on me. Oh, she wouldn't do anything. How blind was you? Because some of you men,
Mm-hmm. The world is
got a
gonna look at you
tendency to be
differently.
blind. You act like you ain't see nothing was going on. That's how you men do. Oh, I didn't know. And all along, you just acting like you was goofy and blind, and you didn't want to see the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But now, what's the problem? What's up? I want to know what's up with character.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with the character in this? Because you thought I was your child for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I wasn't your child, let's just say she came to the marriage with me. You would still, the point was still to love me as your child. But now she didn't come with me and I'm not yours. And that would be okay. She had me, you thought I was yours, and that would be okay. But now, because you found out that you're deceived, now you want to disown me. That
Wow.
just doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think in a life when we become an adult and we learn how to find our way through, let's just say, atrocities. Life throws all kind of curveballs, speed balls, head bangers, bowling balls, you name it. Life is throwing them balls at you. But I thought the purpose of being an adult was to help protect the kids, to help raise the the village, and the village means you're gonna be taking care of kids that's not yours. Hell, Santa Claus kids ain't his, but the point is still he getting his fat butt up, slide down small chimneys, and drop off gifts. So now you can't take care of a child,
Santa Claus ain't real.
and you a man.
Santa Claus ain't real.
No, you're not. Don't tell nobody, because a lot of these parents are telling their kids that he is,
Okay.
but they can't take care of the kid that ain't theirs. Though I'm just saying.
I
I'm
guess.
just saying.
I guess. But see, and
You know what I
you
mean?
put a great point out there, Toya. You put a great point out there, because how much of this is dealing is lined up in within the male's ego. Everybody gonna see, man. Everybody gonna know these kids ain't mine. She's gone and she's deceived me, and now left me with these kids to
But-
raise. And how much of that is that male
But,
ego,
right.
which is terrible?
That is still going back to this new way of how we are teaching men. Your ego is only hurt because your mama been telling you don't take care of no kids not yours.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day when we was forced to stick together, we knew that they was knocking dads off. We knew
Yeah.
that was knocking parents off. And we knew that we had to marry the wife because 9 times out of 10, the daddy got drugged down the street by horses. But it's a difference now because the daddy didn't get drugged down the street by horses. It was simply because she made a choice to be with someone else. And now it's the issue. Like, this is the part I'm trying to understand. Why we got double standards when it comes to children? It don't make no difference.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if I felt like these nephews and nieces were not my kids, nephews and nieces, that ain't got nothing to do. I love kids. I love people. I'm going to make sure little humans get taken care of. I don't get, matter of fact, great story, right? My fourth niece is not my biological blood by my brother. But I've been knew that. I knew that when she was a young girl, right? But it don't make no difference to me because once you say this your niece or that's your girlfriend with kids, I'm a woman. So I'm already going to adopt them. Don't make no difference.
Yeah.
So when they got about 18, they got into this real big fight. And she called me up and she told her, she's like, oh, you're not my father, right? They had their beef. And she called me and she was like, Auntie, I want to apologize. And I'm like, what's up? She was like, I don't want you to be mad because I know that I'm not your real niece. And then I was like, wait, stop right there. Stop. You are my real niece. I don't know what the hell you got. I don't know what you got going on with your daddy. But you've been in my life ever since you was born. I will always be your auntie. You understand me? It's not about blood. When you were introduced to me, you became my niece, and that means that I got a duty to take care of you. I've been knew this years ago, and I still came to babysit, and I still came and treated you like everybody else. So don't you ever fix your lips. And then my brother had to call me, well, Toya, don't be treating her different. I had to check him too. Let me tell you something, sir. When you bring a child to me or when you bring a woman to me, that means I'm opening up my heart to them as your family. I don't care what y'all go through. That is still mine.
Yeah.
But that is a value and a core value that I possess, right? Because of what my father taught me. So I believe in this day, when you have women who raise these men, who tell them, oh, don't be taking care of no baby, not yours. This is why ego now is the issue. Because if the mama was teaching them, hey, listen, you bring that girl home pregnant or not, you taking care of that baby.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to sleep with her, you're going to handle the business. You know understand what I'm saying? So we don't have those teachings anymore. So that's why I feel like the men that will fall into that situation will probably have more of an egotistical value on what to do because you've been raised with a concept not to take care of the village. Don't be taking care of kids that's not yours. Now you're deceived. Now you don't want to do it. So now you feel played. But if we go back to the teachings, hey, you bring her here, we're going to take care of it like it's ours. Then I feel like his mindset is going to automatically kick in like, yo, well, you know what? Child or no child, I was raised to take care of a child if I'm dealing with that woman, whether she dead or not, whether she biological or not. That was my job. And that's what I believe needs to be the key factor for a man to stand up and take care of kids that's not his.
Okay. Oh, and all that's good, all that's beautiful, but we kind of getting away from a little bit. I want to go to Cassandra as well because she may have a totally different perspective, or she may view it absolutely the same. But my thing is, we really getting away from the idea or the thought pattern too, of this woman being deceptive, of this woman stepping out on her marriage. We've overlooked that. We pushed that to the wayside. Yes, she's gone now, and ain't nothing we could do about it now. But it did happen. And she did, and we're in this situation, or I say we, I mean all of us in this situation because of the fact that she was deceptive. Because she was deceptive. She I'm sorry.
She did, right? He can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying, I don't want to overlook the fact that we're in this situation, and I say we, certainly not me, but I say we because of the fact that you know, she did what she did. Yes, she's gone, and there's no way you could go back and undo it. There's no way you can do that. It's done. And yes, the kids still have to be taken care of. So I'm not negating that part. The kids still got to be taken care of. You still have a responsibility because in the children's eyes, you are their father. You're the only father that they've ever known. So I'm not saying that, you should not do that or you should not take care of the kids. Absolutely you should. But let's not say that there was not a wrong done here. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, I'm going to tell you this scenario. I'm going to keep it as it is. You have a very good friend, male friend, and y'all help each other through different situations, scenario, and y'all absolutely open up to each other. He called you one day. He said, Cassandra, I could only talk to you. I can't talk to nobody else about this. I can only talk to you. Do you have a minute? You say, sure. What's going on? He said, well, I've been married. I'm going to keep it like it is for 15 years. We've been married for 15 years, right? Yeah. My wife, she just passed. Yeah. Y'all go through that moment. And he said, I was forced a week or so ago to do a DNA test. We got two kids by marriage, and 2 kids that we had in the course of the marriage that was conceived during the marriage. Yeah. They're pre-teenagers, 10, 11, 12, whatever the case. And it's been determined, Cassandra, neither one of these kids are mine. She lied to me. This whole time, she's lied to me. I've been deceived, and now she's gone. She's gone home to glory. But I still have to take care of the kids. But Cassandra, it breaks my heart to know that these kids are not mine. Cassandra, what do you say to your friend?
Okay, so what are you going to stop loving the children now because she's gone and she was deceptive, or does the love for those children what can you get by doing anything other than going ahead and raise the children like you've been doing? Because y'all were married legally, they consider them your children. And I mean, what do you do? Tell the children, hey, y'all ain't my kids because I found out that your mother was sneaking out. Man, you got 2 kids that are already damaged because they've had the biggest loss that you can have in your life. And then you're going to now destroy them by saying, hey, y'all ain't my children.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You continue to love. The children had nothing to do with the deception.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You continue to love them and support them.
And that's what I said. I said earlier that certainly, if I was ever in a situation like that, I would never tell the kids or what their mother did, because I wouldn't want, now that she's gone, I wouldn't want them to look at her in any kind of negative light at all. So, me personally, I would not tell them that. I will continue the way that it is. But the human side of people, some would say the fleshly side of people, plays tricks on them sometimes. So what do they do?
But what would you do, Raheem? What could you do other than, man, listen, I'm sorry. I'm going to be praying for your healing because I know this must hurt you. And she's gone now. There can be no explanations, nothing to say. But what about the kids? I mean, that for me as a counselor, even, that's why I go, you have to be healed from what she did because it was a deception. But the main thing is, what about the kids?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I throw another scenario in this, and like I said, I wouldn't tell the kids in any part of that. I wouldn't, just as me. But along the course of time, one of the kids needs a blood transfusion, and they say, well, it had to be somebody that's close in the DNA and blah blah blah. And they come to you, they say, Dad, we need blood. We need you to help us. We need this. We need that. And it has to be somebody that's tied in with us that can do this. And you say, well, we can go have the test, but how do you explain to them that I may not be who you think I am? How do you handle that situation?
Why would you do that when you can just say, hey, the blood test, is not a match? Or so I don't know. My thing would be to protect those children as much as possible. I
Mhm.
mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
If you want, when they become adults, because they are 11 and 12, they've lost their mom. As they become adults, if you decide you want to sit down and explain to them, because now they're grown, they could better handle, and they're not in as much pain from the loss of that parent. Then you could sit down maybe and talk to them and explain, listen, if you've noticed, I never stopped treating you any different. I continue to love you. But now you may need to know, or now I feel like you're old enough to know this is the situation. That way, if they want to go search out that other parent or whatever, they can do whatever they need to do.
Mhm.
But as children, I would not subject those children to that.
Mhm. Wow. Let me see. Somebody on TikTok wrote something. Eventually they would need to know, but not as a child. Yeah, that's Cynthia said. Eventually they would need to know,
Yeah,
but not
absolutely.
as a child. Do you? Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, do you agree with that? Eventually they would need to know, or is that something that like you said last night on the show, take it to your grave?
Well, you got to. I thought about something when Tanya was talking, and after getting the DNA test, you go home and say, "Get in the car. Let's go through this."
What? Wait a
Right.
minute.
And let me let's go through this and see how this gonna work out.
Okay.
You go home and you tell the children, "Get in the car." "Where we going, Daddy?" "You just get in the car and just be quiet." And you drive up to this house and you say, "Get out."
Mm.
"Well, who is that man?" "That's your daddy."
Mm.
How that's gonna work?
Wow. It's not.
How that's going? How? Now here's the thing: they just lost their mother, and you say she's going on to glory.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be questionable,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we like to put people in heaven and hell,
Mm-hmm.
So that's on us, not on them. They got
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with God, because we judgmental.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing it all out there. But how is that gonna be handled by the kids if you say, "Okay, I'm not your daddy anyway,"
Mm. That's heartless there,
and
brother.
take them to a house
That's heartless. That's
of
heartless.
somebody they have no clue about,
Mm-hmm.
and he married
Mm.
with a wife and some more children, and you drop them off.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just thought about, why I thought about that? Because we live in a society that is heartless,
Mm-hmm.
and we're selfish. We talk a good game, but our actions are totally different.
Yes, sir.
We
Yes, sir.
talk about righteousness and godliness and holiness, but we're so far from it. It's like the East and the West.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. 508-924-3521. The phone lines are open. Give us a call. We got quite a few people that's actually commenting on TikTok. We definitely appreciate you, but we'd love for you to call in as well. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Phone lines open. Give us a call. Let us know what you think about this whole situation. And it was Cynthia said it will hurt if they find out on their own. Absolutely. And Turn said a child always has a need or a right to know the truth, no matter how young. Wow. If they need to find out their dad, I'd help them. Wow. Yeah, we got a lot of conversations going on over.
I think he
Hello.
froze.
Uh-oh.
I think he froze.
No, I'm there.
He back.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. We couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know what happened there. Might get a little fancy. I might need to have a DNA on this computer. Go ahead, Toya.
because you are not the father of this program.
Exactly. Hello?
Yeah, are you still there?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you. It's breaking up a little bit. I can still hear you.
I'm the only person.
No.
Tucson, Rico.
Tucson. I think Rico had to
I'm
take.
here.
Yeah. Everybody's here. Cassandra.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, everybody's here.
Oh, it sounded awfully quiet in the back where you said something about TikTok and then you kind of froze. What were you saying? You said you got a lot of comments on TikTok.
Yeah, we got a lot of people actually on TikTok that's commenting on a lot of the stuff that we're talking about right now. Trying to get them to call in and be a part of the conversation as well. But they're definitely commenting on the thing. They may be at work or something like that and may not be able to call in, but they are commenting. But what's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, no, Tucson is right. Got a lot of heartless people in this world. Well, I guess we should address what you said, right? The deception.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the truth would be now, because if this is the problem in my friend's mind, what can we do about the deception?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think at this point, because the woman has passed on, I know that hurt, bro. I know it does.
Yeah.
But we gotta keep moving. We got kids here.
Mm-hmm.
We got kids that we have to take care of. I know it's deceived, you know, and honey, what's in the dark will come to the light. So hey, if the wages of sin is death, honey, I'm not no wonder she ain't here. I mean, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think, if you feel like it's okay to be dishonest about who their father is, then I don't think you should be that distraught about her dying.
Mm-hmm.
Because you a liar.
Mm.
You're willing to lie to your kids. Even if they're not there, you're going to let them get old and find out on their own. So for me, it's a happy medium. Again, you don't have to say, you know, oh, well, she's a whore and she cheated on me. No.
Hey.
Well, you know, it's not a match right now. And 11 and 12 is a little bit too young for us to talk about what happened with mommy, right? When you get older, probably 16, 17, you learn more how the world works. Then we'll sit down and discuss it. Until then, we need to figure out how to get you well.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, what's inside my body is not what your body needs to get you well. So when you can find a person that has the right thing in there, then we'll figure out other stuff. But see, the universe, this is how God do, because you want to be a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Now you need the father. Now you need to explain to this child that it's the father now. Because God is true. It ain't about your deception. You probably deceived God many a days. Now all of a sudden you want the world to stop because you've been deceived. Come on with the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
God is going to force you to that truth. Now you have to explain to this child, hey, listen, you know, me and your mom, we were young. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to make a person feel bad, but, you know, we did some things, and I'm not your biological father. We found out that someone else is. The child is still going to cling to you as their biological father.
Mm-hmm.
Either way it goes, a messy situation. Whether you wait till 21 and tell this person that you're not their child, and they're looking at you like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What you would say to me at 21 years old? You're not my child.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not my father. But I mean, what determines the parent? The fact that you're a liar, or the fact that no matter what, you're gonna tell me the truth? Because if you've been telling these same kids about Santa Claus, I know you don't feel no kind of way about lying to them about who their father is. You've been lying all this time about bunnies and fairies and birds and stuff. Come on, fat men coming down chimneys. You don't feel nothing about a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't feel nothing about that lie, the same way you can get over this deception real quick, because you're still you were deceived, but you're gonna turn around and deceive your children. Oh wait, they're not your kids no more.
Mm-hmm.
So now you don't care if you deceive them or not. Like, tell me what's really good. Like, I just need to understand the concept, the mind frame of my friend at this point. Because my friend, I would feel like, as a man, you a real man, you a thorough man. And if a child needs you, you're going to step up to the plate. And now you didn't have him for 15, and now your ego getting in the way. But I want to know from my friend, so what do you want done? Sometimes when a person comes to you with a problem, sometimes you need to just shut up.
Yeah.
It ain't about your advice. It ain't about what you want. It ain't about what you tell them. You need to say, well, tell me what you want to do, man. She's gone now. Tell me what it make you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Other than going back in time and saying untrue. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when we can't get a rational response from a person, because anger, let me tell you something, when I'm angry, all bets is off, honey. Your Honor, where's the sale? Don't worry about coming looking for me, because I turn myself in. But when the dust settles,
Mm-hmm.
you got to ask them, so now what, bro? Now what we going to do? What would you like to be done? Now she's gone, she cheated on you, your kid's sick, you got to find a father. What would you like done?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to let that individual open up their mouth and let their own insanity come out and let them hear their own insanity in order for them to say, wait a minute, you know what? Wait a minute. That's not my mindset,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to kids. You know what I mean? So I feel like, again, this is a scenario that we really have to sit down and get the other individual back in position, because you cannot let the deception knock you off your position. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You can't let that deception take you out. If you have biological kids, the death of a parent can kill the other parent, and now you're going to wind up letting the kids die too, just because you can't get over the hurt and the pain of what has happened, whether you were deceived or not. So I feel like, you know, as a friend, sometimes we got to let a friend see what he feels, needs to be done, and hear him hear his own insanity.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the time, when people get in situations, they already been partially thought it out.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, I don't give it. I really don't try to give advice, but I let people talk their situation out.
Yeah.
To themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They say, I want to talk to you about something. So if a person says that they want to talk to you about something, you shouldn't be talking.
Mm-hmm.
So listening is directions.
Mm-hmm.
Listening is instructions. Silence is a golden thing. It's a wisdom that nobody has. Just about few find out what wisdom is when it's quiet,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't figure it out. Talking shows. If a person thinks you're stupid and you open your mouth and prove it to them, that's your fault. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you don't say nothing, you can be dumb as a box of rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, boy, he sure is smart.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why, I guess, anyway. But see, I think that's good, what Toya said. Let them talk their situations through. Because the ego, the pride, all of that, let them analyze all of that in their own conversation, because they said, come to you and say, I need to talk to you about something.
Mm-hmm.
That means listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's another thing, and I know you're the question asker, Raheem, but I just thought about something. What if the man was dead? And all this time these children been playing around the house. And you come to find out that them little kids that been playing around the house is his.
Mm.
And he dead. And
Wow.
here you are, the mama that been feeding these kids on the block. And you find out that's your husband's children. Hot tub mighty.
You see, you've been sitting on that recliner with your hands behind your head, ain't you?
I'm always sitting there.
Yes, sir. Cassandra, talk to me, sis.
Hey, look, I got to step out for a minute. I got this thing I got to do.
Okay, cool. Okay, Cassandra, talk to me, sis.
I don't know what I'm talking to now. We still.
Yeah, it's the same situation about, and how do you deal with and how do you tell your friend, because he may be in a situation, Cassandra, where and I love what Toya said, because she painted a beautiful picture. I really love that, but he's still to the point where he's battling with the deception part of it. And they've been married for 15 years. And he thought that it was beautiful. Everything was perfect. They had this little perfect family, perfect scenario, 2 kids along the course of the marriage. And now that she's passed, he had the DNA test, and it's determined that these 2 kids are not his. How does he deal now? Truth of the matter, he still got to take care of the kids. You know, they're still his kids, DNA or not. They're still his kids. So that part has been nailed in. But my thing is this right here: how does he deal with when he's laying on that pillow at night by himself, and his emotions and all that stuff tie in? How does he deal with the deceptive part of it, while certainly not including the kids in it?
I mean, that is where counseling comes in. So that means whether it's your spiritual counselor, your pastor, or whoever, whatever your religious background is. So you get somebody that can talk you through what you're going through. So it's it has to be some type of counseling. You're not going to be able to. I don't think most people are able to maneuver through that type of deception and pain without having someone, that listening ear. That's just me. There's some people that work their way through anything by themselves. I don't see that. But if you could get some wise counseling, I think that would be the best step for this man or woman, whichever way it went, to get their answers.
Exactly.
Or to work through it.
And see, and that's that very thing what you say right there, absolutely perfect. But a lot of times us as men, for whatever reason, we don't like therapy. We don't feel like we want to let anybody into, I ain't gonna tell my business to them people. Them people don't know nothing about me, blase, blase, blase. And a lot of men have that mentality. They don't want to go, they feel it feel as though, I guess, it makes them weak in some kind of way. I don't understand it. To lay on somebody's couch and get the help, the mental help that you need, they find that weak. So what do?
Well, you don't have to lay on the couch, and sometimes you have friends that can talk you through. If you have wise friends, the Bible talks about wise counsel. So you may have a friend that you trust that is stable enough to give you the right kind of answers. Then you go to that person, and no one lays on a couch hard anymore. I ain't seen no couch nowhere I've been. But anyway, we're sitting in the chair, whatever you do.
Yeah.
It's okay to sit with your friend and share what is going on, and hopefully you have that are wise that would be able to help you maneuver. So all I'm saying is you need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Because if not, the enemy will probably eat you alive.
Exactly.
With all kinds of thoughts and scenarios. So that's still my advice. Counseling, whether it's a friend or a professional.
That and that part right there, because the enemy, he's going to try to creep in, and he's going to talk all kind of foolishness to you and make you think this or make you think that. So Toya, how do you combat that? Because just like Cassandra said, man, that enemy is going to try to manipulate you. He's going to try to manipulate you. That's what he do.
Yeah, that's his job. I can kind of see probably why men don't want to go to counseling, because when you fell and scraped your knee, you couldn't cry.
Yeah.
Get up, shake it off. Now somebody gonna tell you to suppress your emotions for 21 years, and then at 27, you think you're gonna be telling somebody that you hurt? Come on, let's go. You know, skin your knee the first 5 years of your life, and every time, get up, shake it off, boy. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Hey. You're not going to know how to communicate. So now here you go. You get 7, 8. Now you need to express your feeling. Hey, boy, you a man. You don't cry. So what you think you're going to do at 30? When you hurt and you're destroyed. You're taught, you're trained, you're built to hold it in because you're a man. But I'm so glad that I had a good father that played, hey, girl, what's wrong with you? No, you don't look the same. Come on, let's talk about it. You have to, that's the teaching, that's the training that I think we forget. This goes back to this village again. So if a man hasn't never been taught that he can express themselves, now all they can do is bottle things up because they're a man, then why are they gonna go sit on a couch and talk to someone to help them when they're used to never getting help? to eating it. Doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So again, whether it's wise to or not, at the end of the day, do you know who the determining factor is to turn this all around? You.
Yeah. Yeah.
It don't matter what your friends say. It don't matter what the counselor say. It don't matter what your mama say. It don't matter what your daddy say. You know what? It don't even matter what God says. Until you get in your, not gonna let this defeat you. You're not gonna let this. I ain't got no kids. You know how many days I prayed when I was suicidal for God to take me now?